Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the channel. Been waiting on parts to finish these brakes up. That way the Jeep both goes and stops. This video touches on just about everything that can possibly go wrong with this easy installation. Let's check in with optimistic past me before he knows what's in store for him. We got the new wheel cylinders in the mail. Gonna have to pull the brakes apart for the 15th time to get these on. I'm gonna fast forward through this. There's a more detailed video down in the description. Let's get right into it. We're gonna come around behind and grab some bolts out of here. Throw this guy in there, put some bolts in, and we're done. Pretty simple job.
Of course I say it's an easy job, then proceed to strip out bolts. At some point I'll get used to being on the wrong side of a bolt with the camera in the way.
I think we're just gonna give this a cut. I'll try and do it up here close. Maybe I can lift over to build this without redoing everything. Let me go get the other tools. Okay. Let's see if we can fit this tool in here and get this line cut. I'm using this because it makes a much cleaner cut than it would if I'd come in here with a Dremel or something. I'm not sure we're going to get enough of a circle to... maybe I can bend that a little more. Well, let's see what happens. Worst case is we completely replace these lines. I also opened the cap up front so there's less pressure in the brake lines. This is still going to shoot brake fluid everywhere, but there should be less pressure than there was. Well, what do we end up with here? A really crooked end. It's good enough as long as it doesn't leak. All right, let's get to pulling this out of here finally. Hopefully that comes out. These are just normal bolts, so they should, in theory, come out of here. That's already a bad start. Problem is you can't really see what's going on back here either. Let me probably get in your way. But I gotta see what I'm doing if I'm gonna get a thing out of here. Yep, I'm not feeling good about this coming off of here. Let's give we'll get this on here and give it a couple taps. Pretend it's an impact because I can't fit an impact in here. Yep, well, I mean, there's no room here. Oh, that's promising. That doesn't feel like it broke. Yeah. There we go. I'm gonna probably, well, maybe it does feel like it broke now. I'm gonna go get some new bolts to put in here. Also, well, you guys didn't leave me a lot of room to work here with all this silliness going on around me. Yeah. Okay, give that some taps, probably snap that one too. Maybe it's actually just working. Let's hope this comes out of here. Oh, good. Good deal. That at least comes out. Even if all the... well, now we've got to figure out how to get it out with the... because that's not normally on there on the end and it will pull out. Oh, great. Yeah, I figure I would at least just give these tin snips a try. I know this is steel line, but it is not... it's a lot easier than trying to fit a Dremel back here and cut this. Yeah, there we go. Got him. Okay. Goodness gracious. So we need to reflare this. That should still, yeah, that'll reach if I just do some things. Yeah, maybe it'll reach. Looks like there's some rusty stuff I can pull loose back there. I'll be back in a bit. I need to get 2 new bolts and we need to reflare this. Well, the best I could find is 1/4 by half, which is quite a bit longer. I'll try this out, see if they fit in here. Well, you're just leaking more and more as we go here, brakes. I don't like it. Let me go get my flare tool and we will do this flaring on the brake. I guess we should make sure the brake line connectors I have fit this first before we go getting too wild. Oh, that's probably the right size. Yep, okay. We're gonna slide this on first and then we're gonna make a flare end. Yeah, this is not gonna film well.
This was basically impossible to record. I'm back in a wheel well with a brake line I can't move. I'll leave a video in the description on how to flare brake lines. You also shouldn't have to do this unless your vehicle is a complete rust box.
Through the magic of editing, we have a flared brake line now. We will hook this fella up. Hopefully there's enough room with all, oh boy, that's not looking too good at all. Give you some of that maybe. That is still real short of being in the target area that I need you to be in. There's some things I can loosen up back here. I was stretching out stuff, made it fit. That's not too horrible. At some point I am definitely replacing all these brake lines, but until then, well, sort of in your way. Let me finish tightening that up maybe. And hopefully it stops leaking everywhere. That'd be great. Yeah, hopefully that's not leaking. Clean that up and check that later. Let's get this guy put back together. Okay, why are you so loud? Come on. There we go. There's a whole other video of me doing this entire thing multiple times. If you want to check the description. Oh, it works so much better than a screwdriver. All right, let's head over there and do the other one. Get our other springs out. Bring your arm back. This one should go a little quicker.
Little did he know, it would not.
Well, that's about the best view I can get for you. There is no room in this thing. I'm still gonna try and get this off. Getting this off would be a lot easier than making a new one. I'm not feeling good about it already though. Yep, never mind. We'll just cut this and make a new one. As we learned from our last one, I will just cut this first and then do the rest. Especially with how close we are here, I'm just gonna fast forward you and suddenly this will have an end on it. And that's how easy it is to flare a brake line. Yep, let's get this out of here. And the storm decided to pick up a little. Oh God, the flood is coming in. I have to abort mission. All right, the rain stopped. The ground's a little more dry than it was. Let's get these bolts off.
As you probably noticed, I was going the wrong way with the wrench. You won't need to do this whole next set of stuff if you just do it right in the first place.
Got a fancy tip for the Dremel. See if this does anything. We got some even more fancier tips if this doesn't work. Let's see if we can all fit under here and do this. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not sure there's enough room for all of us. Oh. Oh. Hello. Here we go. Come on around. Oh. I've already gotten rid of most of that. It did take some of the bolt off, but not enough to do anything. Let's try this other fitting and see if it works. We also got a fancy carbide burr tip. This usually works for this stuff, but it's not Dremel size. It is thicker. Also, I just used my angle grinder, but it doesn't fit in here. I'd really rather not have to pull apart the entire axle to do this. As you can tell, I've given that bolt the business, kind of hollowed it out. It's still not enough to get it off of there, and I still have a second one over there to do. Very quickly, that's going to start damaging this backing plate, and that's what holds this whole thing on here. I think what I'm going to try and do is pull this off of here. We have to get the axle out first so I can undo these bolts, which are also in some terrible, terrible shape. I can at least just cut those off. They're out front. To pull this out, we have to get back into the pumpkin and pull some things apart. Let's get to that.
This is all things you won't have to do for this job. I'm going to skip over most of it. Again, there's a video in the description if your luck is as bad as mine. I'm just taking the bolts off the differential, draining it, getting out the retaining pin, pushing in the axle so I can remove the C-clip, then pulling the axle out so I can get the backing plate off.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Oh yeah. Oh no, my parking brake is in there. Got him. All right, now we can actually get to this. That's wild how rusted this is back here. Let me maybe put this back on here and try to get that off before we do that. Oh, yep, come on. Hopefully, since this is new, I can get this to pop back out of here. There we go. Okay. Here's this thing. We're going to take this downstairs now, a little closer look at it. I wasn't too far off on this one. We had a little bit more to go. I'm glad I did this though. All right, now that we got this backing plate off, let's get these holes drilled out. We have the one that we already tore up pretty badly, and then the clean one. I think I'm going to try and get this out first, kind of see where everything sits. Then I can do a better job of getting this one out. Get our tap out. Try and center this as much as I can, because this should just drill straight out if I can do it right. Try and get this in the center, and not really. This should just drill straight out if I can get it to stay in the middle. There we go. Going to oil up our drill bit. These are kind of expensive bits, so trying to take care of them. If I had a drill press, this would be a lot easier, but I don't, so gonna just do it by hand. Slow and steady with even pressure. Looks like we're starting to slide down a little bit. We'll give this a bit more upward pressure. Keep an eye on it so I don't drill clear through the backing plate. Got him. Nice. Got that one perfectly. Now if we can just line this up somehow. Oh, I need to be way, way higher, evidently. Might be time to get the Dremel out. I'm gonna put a face shield on because I don't need any of this flying at me. Well, there's that. Maybe we can just... Yep. Got him. Oh, we got it out. This one came out really good. We only marred this just a little bit right there. It'll be fine. There's a little strong steel there. It also doesn't need much to hold it. Well, this is in an easy place to get to. We're gonna throw the drum cylinder back on. All I'm doing is just lining up the bolt holes with the bolt holes. These bolts are only 10 Newton meters, so we're just gonna, you just do this until that's probably good. And then maybe give it a little whoop to make sure it stays. Just kind of tighten this till it doesn't tighten. And that's good enough. Got that installed. Now let's take this back out and put it on. Let's give this a bit of a clean. Usually you should be a little more worried about getting stuff in here, but I'm replacing these in another video. So I'm just gonna clean this backing plate off and yeah, there's a lot of rust on everything here. If I keep this Jeep, it will eventually get some Dana 44s, but until then, we're gonna make these work. All right, that's clean enough. So we'll take our backing plate with the cylinder up top, maybe get it to press on. Give this a little persuasion that's going on there. There we go. Got our nuts we took off earlier. I definitely used an impact to get those off of there. You can hammer these bolts out and replace them, but I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully I'm not ever taking this apart again. That one still feels a little rough. I mean, the end of that is a little rough. Yeah, that is not the correct shape for that bolt. That's going on-ish though. Tighten these back up. I'm gonna have to go get my torque wrench because I didn't bring it up. These guys are 45 foot-pounds, so they're not messing around. There's one. Don't know they need to crisscross these, but might as well. All right, got those in. We will slide our parking brake back in finally. I'm gonna need to zip tie this to something at some point. We'll figure that out later. Gonna reconnect our brake line now that we have new things going on back here. Hopefully you have enough room to do this. Straighten you out a little, bend you up a little. Yeah. Be here for hours. We're gonna fast forward. Hopefully that's tight enough. We'll check it when we bleed the brakes. Let's get these brakes put back together. First, we gotta get the emergency brake hooked back up. Okay, then we'll hook that up to the brake. Then we put our spacing spring in there. There we go. And we'll stick our catch springs in there. There we go, both our set springs in. This needs adjusted up a little. And she's together. We will hook our parking brake spring on. And around. And hook. We'll use the tool that you should definitely buy in the description. And we've got some brakes put together. Let's head over to the other side and do that one. I'll hook this brake up as well. It's all the same things. Probably gonna just fast forward. Okay, that just got hooked up through the magic of editing. We're gonna throw this guy on here. Okay, pull this side loose, push this in, catch our e-brake. There we go. Stick the other one in there. Hook our parking brake spring up. Loop around. Ooh, she's tight over here. Yeah, that's finally working out. It should actually. Use our spring tool. Connect that spring. We got a set of brakes. Well, that took way longer than I expected after messing up those bolts. This job should go much easier for you if you're trying to do it at home. Next video, we'll get the brakes bled, we'll test everything out for real, maybe take it out on its first drive in 13 years. Like always, there's affiliate links down in the description to all the tools and parts we use today. They really do help the channel out if you use them. Also link those other videos down there of pulling apart the brakes and the axles in a little more detailed manner. Smash that like button, subscribe. Now go on an adventure, get out there and see the stars!